Alright guys, time of my life. What's going on? Well, my voice is all messed up again because the Trojan horse never... It's the gift that keeps on giving, right? And since Gaston Newsome and the new leadership, right? Donald Duck Force, the Donald Duck Force. He went into the White House and he did so many impressive things by executive order. He couldn't shut down all of the gain-of-function research labs. Couldn't he just knock those out and just turn them off? Send it all to space? No, he didn't do that. And so we're still getting hammered with weird fog in our sky. We're still getting hammered, and the worst part is, as usual, is the kids bring it home, and then the wife gets it, and then the wife's sick, and then I get it eventually. So we have to work out every single day, because I work out every single day now. It was nice being young. You could work out maybe once, twice a week. And that was enough. That was knuff. It was knuff to work out once a week and be able to battle the viruses. But now I have to work out every single day, and it's still not knuff. Anyway, what's the problem with arrogance? I know what you're gonna say. You're one of the dumbest people I've ever heard speak. You're schizophrenic. Your unibrow really annoys me. And look at that nose. How do you live with yourself with that long, disgusting nose? Anyway, you have the intelligence of a cockroach. And the look is kind of similar. It doesn't mean that a clock can be correct twice a day, even when it's broken. I got that famous phrase, obviously butchering it, from Eli the Computer Guy, and Eli the Computer Guy is right about so many things. But when you're a product reviewer, even if you're dumb, like I am, you've seen it all, right? You've seen it all. You've seen the American products, you've seen the French products, you've seen the Russian products, you've seen them all. You've seen the Intel products from, I think Intel is an Israel company. You've seen the Taiwanese companies like Nvidia, which I'm really not a fan of. I don't like Intel and I don't like Nvidia. I've said this story a lot of times, but I'll say it again. When I was growing up and I was building my own computers, the two things that I replaced the most was the Intel chips, because I didn't like it, and I put AMD, and the graphics card, NVIDIA, I would put Radeon. Radeon, amazing graphics cards. The best, actually, for gaming. So yeah, those were the two things that I always changed out. And I always added way more RAM than I ever needed to the computers, because that helped a lot. But anyway, those are the things that I usually focused on, and great amounts of storage. I always upgraded the storage, the hard drives. But anyway, the problem that I'm faced with right now is that when you're arrogant and you're like, tariffs, I can't even do his voice now, because can you hear my voice? It's like really low. But anyway, tariff is a beautiful word. It's the best word I've ever heard. Yeah, but then Elon Musk better release the solid state batteries that we all know he has hidden away in a storage somewhere. Because here's the thing about tariffs. If American products are like Skydiogate, right? Skydiogate, if you guys don't know, we had the Cold War with China, where Americans were like, America first. We're going to use Skydio drones to replace all of DJI. Well, the problem is, if you don't have an amazing American product to switch over to, your own people are going to say, no, we can't use this product. It's so garbage that we can't do research, not research. We can't do search and rescue properly with this drone. It's so garbage that it gets tangled up and stuck in trees and all that kind of stuff. So we're actually losing lives when we're trying to rescue people in America. So we can't dump DJI. We're stuck with it. So you can tariff it big time, but at the end of the day, we are spending more money to keep our DJI drones and buying new DJI drones because the current American product is garbage. And now that Donald Trump is tariffing everybody, we're realizing just how absolutely behind we are on technology compared to like Europe and Asia and everyone else. And so when you tariff even countries like Canada, which aren't really avant-garde when it comes to technology, Canada is saying, well, you know what? We're just dumping all of your stuff. We're just going to get rid of all of your products and just take them off the shelves because we finally, like, we were doing business with you, but we feel a sign of relief now because we've been having to sell your products for so many years, and now we finally have an excuse to dump your products because they're not all that. And when I lived in Europe, aside from maybe like drinking Coca-Cola and Sprite and Fanta, there wasn't a whole lot of American products that we were buying, to be perfectly honest with you. When we were living in Europe, when I was living in Europe, we didn't really buy a whole lot of American products because there's so many alternatives. Like, if you want to drive a car, the Peugeot, the French car, is pretty good. Why would you buy a Ford? I mean, Ford is awesome. Okay, let me be clear about that. I love Ford. So we do have a lot of Ford Escapes and Ford Fiestas, but nobody's buying the big line, the F-150, the Dodges, the big pickup truck. Nobody buys those unless you work in construction. And even then you're like cringing because you're like, it barely fits on our roads in Europe. So, and like, unless you are doing, you're a construction worker in Italy or Europe or France or whatever, you're not buying American, you're buying whatever's available there. And let's face it, Toyota has cornered the market in a lot of these places because the chassis is just so much better. I mean, we want to talk about what is the best chassis you could buy in the world. It's got to be a Toyota chassis. But anyway, that's the problem with being arrogant and tariffing other countries. Are you, that's a good question to ask, are you giving people a sign of relief where they're like, well, finally, I can dump your products now because you're giving us a reason to?